Take you up until 10 o'clock today. You miss any of the show, download the Tobin and Leroy podcast. You guys can subscribe. You get 4 episodes every single day. Also, check us if you're on Apple Podcasts. I know Apple Podcasts has done a weird thing with the podcasts where, like, you now follow it instead of subscribe it. They're trying to make it all cool and whatnot. So if you typically follow us on Apple Podcasts, or if you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, I would just check that out, because I know mine got an update and some of my podcasts got weirdly updated there. So just a heads up to everybody out there. If you don't get your episodes there today, I would definitely give that a little check out, or just download the Odyssey app. Use it there. That one's all good to go. AUDACY. You can also use the Odyssey app rewind feature. Go back and listen to us at any point of today's program, and we got that all set for you. As far as tonight, you got a little NBA playoff action, as Robbie was mentioning. We got game 2 between the Bucks and the Nets. Don't lose. Don't lose, Bucks. Don't lose. Don't.
Wait, but you can say it about the Nets. Don't lose one at home.
Oh, bro. Well, James Harden's not playing, so I mean, it's more on him. I don't really care about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I really don't.
If James Harden wins a championship, you should be banned.
I mean, context. If he doesn't play,
Well,
we don't know when he's coming back.
I really shouldn't be banned. Like, I don't care. Like, it's one of these things where, like, if James Harden wins a championship, congratulations on finally riding the coattails of a top 5 player in the league. James Harden, good for you. I don't like watching James Harden play basketball, and that's fine. I'm fine. I don't have to have every good player, Leroy.
No, okay. I know, but do you think that he would play differently if he played for the Heat?
I don't know.
I'm guessing he would.
I don't know. He played differently for the Nets than he did for the Rockets.
Yeah. Great players seem to play great as they are needed.
Yeah. And then, players who always come up small seem to have hamstring strains right when their team needs them.
But they don't need them yet.
They don't need them at all. They probably could win the championship without him.
You think they could?
Yeah, they should engrave coattails onto his ring.
You just
go on, that's
just,
the point.
No, it's not. It's not.
Come on. It's not. Coattails on his ring.
No.
Point for
Hey.
What's that? Oh, that's coattails.
I'm telling you, I have never been privy to an individual or 2 individuals who moved the bar more than you 2 clowns. You have a discussion. Whoop! Over here. Whoop! Grab it. No. Like the hot take ventriloquist. That's what you are. You give a hot take. It's coming from over there, but you're actually saying it over here. And then I go over there to hear it, and then I sway over there.
Robbie, can I get a Brian Flores? This was from Friday. Brian Flores spoke to the media about Tua Tagovailoa, because remember Tua had the very controversial statement where he didn't know the playbook as well as he wanted to. Although
now, you remember what I said about
did seem like
right?
he was. Refresh me.
Well, basically what I said was, it's like you can know the plays, but not understand the offense.
Right.
So it's not necessarily about knowing. So for example, you can know what everybody does on a certain play, but do you understand that play enough to understand when you have to check out of it, or when you have to tweak the formation, or tweak the pass protection, or tweak a route with a receiver? That's more in depth. So to say he didn't understand the playbook, I'm thinking that was along the lines he was talking about.
I thought he was trying to not. I thought he was trying to not throw an old man under the bus, an old feeble man.
No, but keep in mind,
not to the level of Fitz.
He said that the playbook was limited. Because
he did, but then when he was asked to clarify it, then he threw it all on it. He threw the whole plate on himself, because it sounded like he was venturing down. He was venturing down a path to where it sounded like he was throwing the coaching staff under the bus.
No. But what I'm saying is that that coach said he called the game differently for Tua than he did for Fitz.
Not to the level of Fitz.
Right. So maybe they saw it too. Like, I don't know. Let's hear what Flo had to say.
Here's Brian Flores. This was from Friday.
One of the things that got a lot of attention is when he said this. He said, I didn't actually know the playbook necessarily really, really good. What are your thoughts on that and him having been, a rookie?
My thoughts on that are, they kind of go back to what we talked about last week, with him being more comfortable, him just having better command in the huddle right now. Honestly, I just think he's comparing last year to right where he is right now. So, and I get it. I understand that. I remember being a first-year position coach and, coming out of that year, going into the spring, going into the next season, saying, I could have been better last year. I should have been better. I'm better now. So I think, from a contextually, I'm not sure if I have a pretty good, I think we all understand where he's coming from, given, at least the conversation I had with you guys last week. I think that's, I don't know if that makes sense, but I think he's thinking about where he is right now versus, that time a year ago, just reflecting. And that's good. This time is about reflection and, where you are now versus where you were 6 months ago. And I think he's worked hard to improve in a lot of areas. And I think he has. And I think he's kind of communicated that out.
This guy
That's exactly what I said.
He really does have. No, he didn't say exactly what you said.
Yes, he did.
He has a way of saying things that talks in circles, and he leaves me so confused by the end of this because he was saying that.
Let me unconfuse you.
Hold on. But he was like, this is also. He goes, he's a rookie. We all think that we can do better, and now is a time for reflection. Reflection. What? What is he talking about?
I'm going to tell you what he's talking about.
Spinning my head, Flores.
He's talking about just having a grasp of what's going on and not just knowing what to do. Like, I don't know why you guys don't think that's two different things. Like, we all get a playbook, and we go into a meeting room every week preparing for a game, and you talk about the plays that are going to be run under certain circumstances. Then you go on the field and you actually work through those plays. Some of the plays you throw out, some of the plays you tweak, or whatever. If you have never been through that experience, then I can understand how you could say, I know these plays, but I'm not, where I need to be as far as executing these plays.
But you ever feel like Flores just takes you down the yellow brick road of like four different places?
Yep. That's your fault.
He goes,
that's your fault.
What are you talking about? That's my fault.
It's your fault.
What do you mean that's my fault? What does that mean? That's my fault.
This is what drives me crazy. There is a term that we use when we ask coaches questions.
Coach speak?
Yes.
But his is like.
And then we get responses like this. When they give you coach speak,
he's like, I think really what he was trying to contextualize is reflecting.
About the butterfly. He might as well gave the butterfly story.
Reflection is a time where you want to reflect, and I'm looking at the man in the mirror, and what I see is, Tua's right. Really, in the mirror, he's righty. When you're lefty, it's opposite sides, and quite frankly, he might not know the playbook, but I think it's really just in the context of that reflection from the time we were talking. What? What are you talking about?
And let me ask you a question.
I'm never going to – you know what's, Flo? I'm never going to ask about the playbook again. You win. Congratulations. I don't know what you just said.
And my question to you is, when you know this is coming, why are you so shocked?
I don't know.
My thing is, why aren't we more entertained by these coaches avoiding questions like the play? Why aren't we – look. We should start naming. Hey, there's a COVID question. We need 6 feet, right? Because that's the way he answered that question. He's like, COVID question.
He's like the Matrix.
Social distancing.
He's Niflo.
Right. But I'm not shocked. I listen to these things, and you know what? When I listen to these pressers, I think of this. When the question's asked, I'm thinking, I wonder how he's going to weasel out of this question. And guess what? That's what he did.
Ta-da! He should end the press conference with ta-da!
And drop the mic and walk out.
Shad.
Right.
Play it again, Robbie. Can you play this?
Why aren't you shocked?
Can you play this illusion like that was Flores was asked a question about his quarterback not knowing the playbook, and he goes, I think it's great contextually, reflection wise. Ta-da!
One of the things that got a lot of attention is when he said this. He said, I didn't actually know the playbook necessarily really, really good. What are your thoughts on that and him having been, a rookie?
My thoughts on that are, they kind of go back to what we talked about last week, with him being more comfortable, him just having better command in the huddle right now. Honestly, I just think he's comparing last year to right where he is right now. So, and I get it. I understand that. I remember being a first-year position coach and, coming out of that year, going into the spring, going into the next season, saying I could have been better last year. I should have been better. I'm better now. So I think, from a contextually, I'm not sure if I have a pretty good, I think we all understand where he's coming from, given, at least the conversation I had with you guys last week. I think that's, I don't know if that makes sense, but I think he's thinking about where he is right now versus, that time a year ago, just reflecting. And that's good. This time is about reflection and, where you are now versus where you were 6 months ago. And I think he's worked hard to improve in a lot of areas. And I think he has. And I think he's kind of communicated that out.
Now, let me ask you a question. Hold on. You want to know what solves all this?
Ta-da!
No, no, not that. If Joe Shad would have said, no, coach, I don't understand where you're coming from.
I don't.
They never do. They listen to it.
Yeah,
Then they go right about saying, I had no idea what he was saying. But when he asked, you know where I'm coming from. If somebody would have said, Flo, I do not know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
No, then he's like, no, Joe, you get it. You're a get it guy. He
Right.
goes, I am?
Right. Did he? Yeah. That's it. That's what that's the equivalent to? That's called the old Tobin samesies. Right? So by him saying, Joe, you get what I'm talking about. You've been around it for a while. You understand.
Oh yeah, he's right. This Flores is right. Tua's just fine.
But let's be clear, okay? You can know something, right? Or know a play without really fully understanding how to execute it, right? And as a quarterback, you have a whole bunch of different levels that everybody else don't have that you have to learn. And so what drove me crazy was everybody attacking or saying, oh, I would have never said that. Okay, you want the guy to be honest. And maybe he didn't, maybe he didn't say it in a way that broke it down like I did. But he tried to just be honest. Look, I knew the plays. I just didn't really know how to execute the plays.
Dr. Toboggan says Flo ends his press comments by throwing a smoke bomb. Smoke clears and he's gone. Magic.
Yeah.
Suckers.
That would be the best, right? Woo.
We're back after this.